Hello. Last week we started our Tzvardeya topic, and we're going to continue. Last week we talked about the power of Hashem in giving frogs and toads this great ability to metamorphosize from this fish-like creature into a land creature, and also to hibernate under the ground for months at a time, not eating and just sleeping for all that time. Today we're going to start to talk about the Chachma of Hashem in designing, and we're going to particularly talk about frogs' legs. Now we're going to see that Hashem designed different frogs with different legs and feet because each one has a different purpose. The first thing is that He designed frogs and toads with a tool, a built-in tool that He did not give to any other reptile or amphibian that saves its life, and that is very long, powerful hind legs, the back legs. That allows them to just jump away, leap away from danger. Usually in one or two jumps they can get far away enough from whatever animal is trying to eat them, especially the frogs and toads that live near water, because those species usually stay near water all the time. I don't know if you remember, but when we were in Fallsburg with our stream in the back, sometimes for fun we would just walk very close along the edge of the stream, and every footstep we would hear plop, plop, plop of the frogs jumping into the stream to get away from us. And that's what they do. They go down into the streams or the ponds, and they'll go all the way down into the mud or the plants whatever at the bottom and hide. There's a frog called a cricket frog, which is its body is only 1¼ inches long, and it can jump 36 times its length of its body. And a bullfrog, which is, let's say, with a 6-inch body, they can jump 5 feet, which is 10 times the length of its body. So you see that they can get away very easily. And I'll show you some pictures. The two bottom pictures shows bullfrogs leaping. One of them jumping right into the pond. The frogs also can use these powerful legs to kick at their enemies, to hurt them, so that to get them away, to leave them alone, or to startle them, so that they have more chance to get away. Now most frogs will wait until the very last moment. Hashem gave them camouflage colors, almost all frogs, and they will stay still as long as they don't move. It's very hard to see. So therefore their instinct is to just not move. And then when the predator gets too close, then it'll leap away to safety. Now there are some frogs Hashem designed with bright colors underneath their legs, underneath their bodies, their legs, and normally those colors cannot be seen. But this is a tremendous design. When they leap away, the colors are seen. So the predator sees this flash of color, and then when the frog lands, his legs are all folded up again, and the color can't be seen. He's looking for color, something colorful to catch, and he doesn't see any color anymore. And that's how the frog gets away. Because while he's looking, then he leaps away and just hides, while the predator is still looking for him. Now this is a very nice picture of a leaping frog. And this frog has a very interesting name. It's a European frog. It's called the edible frog. Edible means eatable. It means you can eat it. Because the Goyim, many Goyim in the world, especially in France, they consider this a delicacy, the frog's legs. They claim it tastes like chicken. And it's not just the French, even though they're the ones most notorious for eating frogs' legs. The Americans also eat them. In the fancy restaurants, they eat frogs' legs. And they eat the big legs, powerful legs of bullfrogs. Or, down in Florida, they have another frog called a pig frog, which is similar size to the bullfrog. Now, that was the design for the leaping frogs. Now there are other frogs that are swimming frogs. And for them to swim easily enough, so Hashem designed them with special feet. Their back legs, the feet, are very heavily webbed, big webbing on it between their toes. That helps them to swim better, to swim faster. And that's how Hashem designed them, to save them, to get away from enemies. Now, it's interesting, and the species of frogs that live on land, so they have no webbing at all, or very little webbing between their toes, because they don't need them. Now, I don't know if they still do it, but I know that when I was growing up, I was aware of that there were some people that they used to go to the store and buy something they called flippers, which was shaped sort of like the webbed feet of a frog, and that used to help them swim. And in World War II, they had special soldiers that were known as frogmen, and they wore those flippers to help them swim underwater. If they wanted to blow up an enemy ship, they would swim underwater very fast using those flippers, those frog-like flippers, to carry out their operation. Now, a third type of frog is known as a burrowing frog. They burrow under the ground. They spend most of the time under the ground, actually. And they can dig very, very fast under the ground, in the mud or sand or dirt. And they can do it because Hashem gave them on the outside edge of their feet. I'm going to show you pictures in a minute. On the outside edge of their feet, it's very hard. And it's wide. I'll show it to you. And it's like a spade. It's like a tool called a spade, like a shovel. And they can dig very quickly through the dirt with that spade-like tool that's built onto their foot. The most popular one, or well-known one, is the spade-foot toad, which I mentioned last week in Orlando. That became multiplied so much. But there are many others also. There's even a tree frog out in Arizona that has this kind of design for him to dig under the ground very quickly. It's interesting, there are some frogs and toads that were not given this design. Hashem gave them a different design to be able to burrow under the ground. He gave them a very hard head. The skull is very hard, very reinforced, and they have very strong forearms, the front limbs, and they can dig head first right into the ground. But that's a lot of work, and these ones are better off. Now there's another one, a fourth type of frog, called a flying frog, that live in Central America, and also Hashem put them all the way on the other side of the world, in Southeast Asia. And they don't really fly, but they glide. They can glide a long distance from the top of the tree to the bottom of the tree, or to another tree, to get away from their predators. And Hashem gave them very strongly webbed feet that sort of comes down like a parachute. It glides down. That's how it works. The frog curves his body like this, and then the webbing on the feet, which I'm going to show you now, helps them to glide down, parachute down safely. Okay, this picture is a swimming frog. This is a common frog in Europe, and he's a swimmer, and you can see he has webbing in the back of his feet to help him. These two pictures is the spade-foot toad, and this is his back foot that has the spade on it, and this is a close-up of that webbed foot. And this is this arrow shows the hard edge, the spade itself, the tool that can dig so quickly through the earth. And he hides very quickly from enemies from that. It's very helpful for him. This small picture is a picture of a flying frog. Wallace's flying frog. Look at the webbing on all four of his limbs. So now another frog that Hashem designed with special legs. That is tree frogs. All the tree frogs, Hashem gave them special toe pads. They're very large pads, and they actually can, out of those little pads comes this sticky mucousy stuff that enables them to stick. They can stick to almost any dry surface, so that they can actually, and I'll show you a picture, they can hold on, they can walk right up vertically a pane of glass. And as a matter of fact, in Florida, we haven't seen it, but in Florida there's a Cuban tree frog that is very often found on people's glass sliding doors, because he can just hold on. In addition, his belly also squishes against the door. It also helps him stick somehow. But anyway, that's what they have. And they also have, Hashem gave them long legs. He designed them with long legs also for climbing to help them. So that's also a special design. Also, there are other species of frogs that live in very fast-flowing streams and rivers, and Hashem gave them also these expanded discs on their toes, and also very strong back limbs, heavily webbed feet, all to help them hold on to rocks or plants so they don't get swept away by the fast-moving river or stream. And their tadpoles, the baby form of them, Hashem gave them a large mouth which acts like a sucker to hold on to the rocks or plants, and also an additional sucker on their stomach to hold on. Anyway, the top two pictures is the Cuban tree frog. You can see his toe pads. And you see in one picture, you see the Cuban tree frog right on climbing up the glass door. Now this is a tadpole in a fast-moving stream, and he's got a big mouth, as you see. That's for holding on, not for talking. And he's got an extra sucker on his stomach to help him hold on to things so he doesn't just get lost in the water. And this one here, this is the same critter. This is the tadpole after he becomes a fully developed frog. He's got, you see his expanded discs on his toes for holding on. And this shows the kind where that frog lives in this type of river in Malaysia, in Asia. That's how you see how fast moving that water is. So that's why Hashem designed him with what he needs to hold on so he can get food to eat and stay where he's supposed to be staying. I hope you enjoyed that, and next week in Yitzhak Hashem we'll have one more session on our frogs before our Svardeya.